Now you probably think organic means clean, safe and skin friendly, and I used to think so too until I dug into what those organic labels actually allow. And I'm not just talking about one label, I'm talking about 4 of the biggest names: USDA Organic, EU Organic, India Organic and Demeter. The truth? Most of them still allow substances that can mess with your gut, and when your gut is out of balance, it can throw off your hormones and show up all over your skin. So let's start with synthetic pesticides. The good news, all 4 labels, USDA Organic, EU Organic, India Organic and Demeter, ban synthetic pesticides completely. But here's the catch: natural pesticides. These are still allowed under most organic standards, and they're not as harmless as they sound. USDA Organic and EU Organic both allow substances like spinosad and peripherin, technically natural but toxic and bioactive. India Organic also allows natural pesticides, but adds some layers of restriction and traditional preference. Only Demeter goes further. It discourages the use of natural pesticides completely, favoring a prevention-first approach. So just because it's natural doesn't mean your liver, gut and skin can handle it. These inputs still trigger biological responses, and those imbalances, they often show up on your skin. Now let's take a look at what's actually sprayed on our organic crops. The most common, copper fungicides and natural insecticides like neem oil, sulfur dust and Bt bacteria. USDA Organic allows copper in relatively high concentrations. There are limits, but they're generous. EU Organic is more cautious, setting stricter limits to copper use. India Organic mirrors the EU with capped use and local discretion. Only Demeter again takes the strongest stance, allowing copper only in minimal amounts and replacing it when possible with herbal sprays and compost teas. The same goes for neem, sulfur and Bt. All are used under USDA, EU and India Organic, but are mostly avoided in Demeter due to long-term health and soil impact. Even though these inputs are natural, they've been linked to issues like oxidative stress, gut imbalance and skin irritation. Effects that don't always show up right away but can build up over time. Now let's talk about how each label thinks about pests, and this is where philosophy starts to diverge. Under USDA Organic, pest prevention strategies like crop rotation or soil health are recommended but not enforced. EU Organic is similar. Prevention is suggested, but pesticides are still regularly used. India Organic promotes integrated pest management with a stronger push for traditional natural methods. Demeter is the only label that requires prevention as the foundation: composting, biodiversity and biodynamic field sprays. In terms of actual pest pressure, USDA and EU tolerate more crop damage before acting. Demeter prioritizes ecological balance, often using bagging or physical protection before considering sprays. So if you're wondering which system actually reduces spraying, the answer is Demeter by design. Organic isn't just about what goes on the plants, it's about how the entire farm operates. For soil health, USDA Organic and EU Organic allow important fertilizers and amendments if approved. India Organic prefers traditional sources, but Demeter requires on-farm compost, cover cropping and biodynamic preparations to build living soil. On external inputs, USDA, EU and India Organic all allow them with conditions. However, Demeter strongly prioritizes internal inputs only, things produced on the farm itself. Farm structure also matters. USDA Organic allows partial farm conversion, meaning one field can be organic while the rest is conventional. EU and India Organic push for more full farm alignment, and by contrast Demeter mandates it. The entire farm must follow organic and biodynamic rules. And then lastly, there's transport. USDA Organic and EU Organic allow air freight and produce, which defeats many of the environmental benefits. Demeter, on the other hand, discourages this entirely, keeping carbon footprints low. So what does all of this mean? USDA Organic and EU Organic are better than conventional, yes, but they still allow pesticides, external inputs and practices that can affect your health. India Organic is a step up, especially with its cultural and traditional approach, but enforcement and clarity can vary. Still, Demeter stands apart. Full farm organic, prevention first, no shortcuts, and a system designed to support your gut, your skin, and the soil it all comes from. Because at the end of the day, your gut, skin, and hormones don't care about the label. They respond to what's actually in or on your food. So the next time you see a green organic label, don't just ask if it is certified, ask if it is truly clean. And when in doubt, tune into your body, experiment mindfully, let your own health be the real test. And I'll wrap it up right there. If this gave you a new angle to think about or helped you clear up some confusion, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more honest breakdowns like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.